great story of the first 8 years of sucking at sales. What got you to want to change and stick with it? Because a lot of people wouldn't after 8 years. That's a long journey.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm stubborn or maybe just dumb. I can't tell you. I got into real estate at 19 years old. And really, I went to college. It just wasn't for me at that point. So I dropped out and I was living in a small community. And I always knew I wanted to be in the business. And so I didn't really know what that looked like at that age. And I had a friend whose father was in real estate. And I thought, well, you know what? There's no degree requirements. This is something I can get into. And so I got into it, got my real estate license at the age of 19, and thought, I'm going to be able to get out here and make my fortune. Reality hit in, and I soon realized that I had nothing in common with the people that were buying houses. Here I am, a 19-year-old kid living with my parents. I'm working with people that are in their 30s and 40s and 70s. They're buying their third house. They have kids older than me. They have grandkids my age. I wasn't able to relate with them and what they were going through. I managed to sell a few houses, but I just wasn't successful at it. And so I ended up going into car sales, thinking that I might be better at that. Nope, I wasn't. And part of that was not having a good coach, not having a good instructor, someone to walk me through the sales process. My manager, when I was in real estate, was like, you build relationships with people. I'm like, about what? How? I'm 19-year-old underage drinking on the weekends, and these are people who are business professionals. They're buying their second house. What do we relate about? And when I got into car sales, the coaching was similar. It was a very high level. And typically in sales, people are either good at it or they're not. And when they're good at it, they don't necessarily know how to tell people how to be good at it. They just build relationships with people. I just talk to people. I just close them. We negotiate. And like, what does that mean? And so I had to find a really strategic way to do all this. And it took me a while. And so I bounced around from real estate and car sales and door to door. And all of those things molded my approach. I did go back to college during that course. After the first stint in car sales, my parents finally convinced me to go back to college. So I went and got my degree in economics. But I immediately went back into car sales when I got out. And maybe I don't like to be bad at things. And so maybe I wanted to figure out a way to be good at this. But it definitely took me a long time. And it definitely took me a lot of hard lessons to find a way to find success.
So when you first started in real estate at 19, what drew you to it?
Well, I think initially it was just the ease of access to get in. It's not hard to become a real estate agent and get your real estate license. I went through a course. It was a self-paced course through a pretty big branded real estate firm. I was 19 years old. I was used to studying. I was used to being a student. And so I just really buckled down, and 3 weeks later I had my real estate license. Now, that just legally allows you to sell real estate. It doesn't teach you any of the ins and outs of the real estate business. But that was what drew me to it, was just the ability to get in there, thinking that I was going to be able to be successful from a business perspective very quickly.
And I think that just translates to today and beyond, because you see the market, it's starting to cool off. The real estate market is cooling off, but you see a lot of real estate agents just jumping in because they think it's easy and I can just sell a house. And I think that is a great story and a great point to talk about, just for the simple point is sales is not meant for everyone. And you brought that up. It's either you're really good or you're really not. And as business owners, we don't get a choice of being either or. You've got to be able to drive the business and be able to do that. So having somebody like you to help us is critical. So how do you help small businesses? Like for myself, we don't have salespeople because we're in real estate development, but could we? Probably, and we could do some different stuff. But how would you help a small business owner, let's say, oh, you know what? Don't let me go down that path. How about you tell me what type of businesses you work with in your system, and then we'll go back and forth.
Yeah. So I work with a lot of small business organizations, chambers of commerce and minority business enterprises and things like that. And through those partnerships, I do a lot of standalone sales training. And that is really designed for small business owners to help them up-level their sales skills. One of the things I don't think most of us realize when we get into running our own company is how much sales is required. I've been really good at real estate, or I've been really good at construction, I've been really good at as an accountant, and I want to start my own company, not recognizing that that means I have to sell my services, my products to other people. And so a lot of small business owners struggle with that aspect. We walk them through the course is about 25 hours. It is, you walk away with, what do I put in emails? 4 or 5 different email templates. What do you say on that first phone call? What's my follow-up look like? What's my social media presence look like? And you walk away with a script. I don't want to say script. A strategic blueprint, a plan on how to go from a prospecting conversation to a closing conversation. And that allows a lot of small business owners to go out and start becoming more effective at closing the leads that are in their phone. If they can jump from 1 out of every 10 interactions, becoming a customer, to 2 or 3, that's a game changer for them. And then at some point, ideally, you're going to get to a spot where you're like, it doesn't make sense for me as the business owner to do all the sales. I need to have a dedicated salesperson. And that really came about as working with business owners who were like, we've tried. We've hired them. They lasted 3 months or they lasted 8 months. And they just didn't have the same passion or the same skills or the same ability as me. And so it's back on my lap. And there is a difference, right? As a business owner, we're passionate. This is our baby. This is what we love. This is what we know we're good at. Bringing somebody on board without structure, without training, without a plan, it's a toss. You might get lucky and find the right person. But I spent the last 17 years coaching, developing, hiring, training salespeople. So I know what to look for when it comes to hiring a salesperson. I know how to translate your business to them so that they have those skills. I know what processes to put in place for them, what CRM system we should use. We create playbooks. We create a foundation to set that person up for success. And then that allows that business owner to go, okay, this salesperson's really got it going on. I can focus on growing my business in other ways, whether that's through more marketing efforts, driving profits, cutting costs, whatever those things look like, allows them to really run their business and not have to be that salesperson.